Oh my god. Welcome back, Flare community. An absolute pleasure to be streaming for you guys today. And yes, the bomb prematurely dropped. I had that as an auto thing. But yeah, so many legends joining in the chat today already. We've got JK, we've got Y Bobaha. JK coming in first, as always. Get your flare lit. We've got Stephen Michael music in the house. Scarbo, obviously. Brad Hewitt, Death Ranger. Bob Doc Bob D. Got Brad Hewitt, Luke, CINK, Raphael, M Duncan VM. Martin Redwood in the house as well. We've got Kieran Christian, that's Mr. Grimsdale, David as well, FTSO EU in the house. Pleasure to have you here, my friend. Zero Legacy Manifestation, and everyone else joining today. So we're just going to actually recap on some recent news, and then we're going to go over some of these infographics which have been provided by Jacko, which is a moderator of the Flare Finance channel. So first and foremost, I just want to say it's an absolute pleasure to be joined by so many people today. I mean, the Flare community is so welcoming, and it really does feel like a family. And you know, it's somewhat overwhelming at times to be streaming for you guys. Volume is low. I've turned it up as high as I can, so if anyone else is feeling that the volume is low, please do let me know, and I'll try and work on that the next time, or maybe I'll try and speak louder. Okay, so first and foremost, we have this news from Mr. 888, and he says, if you are currently excited about 888, the new world, then you may well faint when we announced our partnerships over the coming weeks. We are going to change so many people's lives across the globe, and I am blessed and honored to be a part of it. Michael Brown with the $10. Thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate the donation. It's great to have you here in the stream today. Thank you so much, my friend. The sound is great here. Thank you. So, to the Mr. who was talking about the sound earlier, you may just need to turn up your volume. So the volume is good. So continuing with this tweet, you know, I'm very excited about the 888 platform. And for those of you who don't know, 888, the new world, is actually going to be an NFT platform built on top of the Flare network. Now, we already know of two different NFT platforms, and this is 888, the new world, which you can see here, and also Sparkle's NFT. Hey, what's good, Roy Plummer? Nice to see you in the house, man. And I think both of them are actually going to be great, and they're going to have different functionalities. So here's something which 888 elaborated on. Mr. Farzad over here said, I hope there is going to be a place for photographers too. And 888 replied, what if I told you that photographers would be able to apply to a dedicated photography section? Then what if I told you that this section would have its own curation team? Then what if I told you that the team would be headed by one of the world's top photographers? So in itself, I think that that's actually going to be very interesting itself. You know, a lot of NFTs these days are very animated and maybe neglect the photography side of things. And it's great to see that the 888 platform will definitely include this type of NFTs. Every single artist will have the opportunity to apply to part of 888 the new world. The application process will soon open and will certainly not be only for established well-known artists. That's why we have free zones, one even for people who have never minted a piece in their life. So it seems like they're going to add some sort of tiered system. And I think this is really great. I know a lot of people in the or who may be new to the NFT world may feel intimidated, but it seems like 888, the new world, is going to really welcome those who are of all different abilities. So that's great, and I just thought that this particular tweet was worth mentioning today. Now, secondly, we have this tweet here from, we actually ran through this infographic here, which was basically describing the difference between Songbird, which is the canary network for Fleur, and the Fleur network itself. And Frumpy Onion over here asked, explain to me like I'm a Bitcoin maxi, and why it needs its own chain and token specifically, and why a traditional testnet would not suffice. So with a testnet, the value held on a testnet is actually worthless, and that's because the testnet tokens can be minted at will via a faucet, and because they can be created out of thin air, if you will, it makes the network worthless. Now, with the Songbird, which is the canary network for Fleur, it will hold real value because the Songbird tokens are actually going to have a defined amount, which means that you can't just print them at will, similar to, say, the Federal Reserve, which can print dollars at will. The Songbird network is literally going to have a defined amount, and yes, it's inflationary, but it's going to hold real value, and it's as close to the Fleur network which you can ever get, and that is a perfect environment to test all of these various decentralized applications. And XRP Bible here, if I'm honest, I do recognize this name because he normally is quite a troll, and I'm not one to just block people. I really like to hear opposing opinions, and it gives me a different perspective, and it really allows me to reflect on what other people are saying. And today he really asked a great question, which is not normal for him because he's normally trolling. But here's what he says. If Doge is inflationary by nature, does this make F-Doge inflationary as well, if people keep minting the F asset? So, yes, Dogecoin is inflationary, but that doesn't mean that the F asset, F-Doge, is inflationary as well. Because to mint an F asset, or the asset to the original asset, is basically a one-to-one representation, meaning you've got to provide one Doge to mint one F-Doge. So in answer to that, F-Doge is not inflationary. It's Dogecoin which is inflationary, and Dogecoin is just represented as a one-to-one backing of the original asset, Dogecoin. So with that being said, we're going to jump over to some infographics now, provided by Jacko721, who is a moderator of the Fleur Finance Discord, and he very kindly presented me with these infographics. So I'd love to just run through these briefly with you guys. And yes, that's an important thing to mention, as FTSO EU very kindly did here. The FTSO and STSO are very similar. So we have the STSO, which is the Songbird Time Series Oracle, and we have the FTSO, which is the Fleur Time Series Oracle. So each network is going to have their own time series oracle. And this means that the data providers are basically going to push two payloads or two data sets to each of these networks. Okay, so it's very important to realize that the protocols that are running on both the Songbird network and the Fleur network are actually going to be independent. Okay, and the main thing to really realize is that the Songbird network is going to be its own functioning network. So let's jump into this infographic here. So the Fleur Finance XFi network, and XFi meaning experimental finance. And if you hear this XFi network, it means that basically they're just referring to the Songbird network, okay? So don't get that confused. Hey Martin, great to have you in here. And you know, I've been recommending your video to all of the community about your Fleur Finance insights. It was a great video that you provided, and I'm sure I'm speaking for many on behalf of many of people in the community that video was really special. So it's great to have you here. So let's just run through the timeline here, and this timeline transcends through all of these infographics here. Okay, so on the 21st of July 2021, which was 4 days ago for me, the Songbird platform was announced, or the Songbird network was announced, and a day later, Fleur Finance announced support for the Songbird network in this XFi announcement, or experimental finance announcement. Now, it's expected that in 6 weeks, and I must highlight the word expected, which is obviously vague, it's not set in concrete, okay? So in 6 weeks, we can expect the Songbird network to go live. And when the Songbird network goes live, Fleur Finance are actually going to deploy a number of their products onto the Songbird network. And that is Fleur X, Fleur Farm, and Fleur Loans here. And so we're not going to have the full suite of products. We're just going to have these 3 of the 6 products available. Now, once we get here, Fleur Finance are going to open up this this opportunity of 63 days of yield farm testing, okay? And that is throughout the period which the Fleur network tests and audits are due. So when the Fleur network launches, and this is very important to stress, the Fleur network is not going to launch until the audits are completed, which is expected, and I must highlight that word again, expected to end in September. So the audits are an external factor. The Fleur team don't have control of when the audits will end. This is done by a separate company, okay? So the audits are expected to end in September. But in addition to that, the Fleur network is not going to launch until they have tested thoroughly the Songbird network to make sure that all of these protocols are running as expected. So it's, you know, we can't just say we're expected to see the Fleur network launch in September, because there's a lot of different factors, and these are variables at the end of the day, which means that they're not set in concrete. So this is just an estimate, okay? So once the Fleur network does launch, which is estimated to be in September, they will also, the Fleur Finance team will release a number of different products, or the remaining products, to the experimental finance suite, which is the Songbird suite, if you will. And that will be Fleur Wrap, Fleur Mutual, and Fleur... What's the last one? Fleur Mine. It will be Fleur Mine as well, okay? And after 30 days, there's going to be this snapshot. And the snapshot is basically dependent on how many, if we look at this section here, it's dependent on how much, for the main network, how much Spark tokens you hold. And if you hold Spark tokens, you will get DFLR, which you can convert to YFLR. And on the Songbird network, This is going to be dependent on the Songbird token, how many Songbird tokens that you hold, and this will be converted into SFLR. So let's look at the tokenomics here, and this is basically a comparison between the Songbird network and the Flare network. And if you see this equals equivalent on mainnet, that's what we're basically getting at here. So the Songbird token is essentially the Spark token, and on the Songbird network we have the Canary dollars, which is equivalent to YUSD on the Flare network. And finally we have the Songbird DFLR, which is equivalent to the DFLR on the Flare network. Now, one important point to take note of is 1 million YFLR will be repurposed from the Foundation reserve pool of 20 million YFLR, and this will be allowed for an additional 1 million DFLR to be created for initial experimental finance staking rewards. Meaning, if you're participating in the Songbird network, you're actually going to be able to earn part of this 1 million DFLR. So that will essentially come over to the YFLR on the mainnet. So we have this here. So on the Songbird network, you're going to get SFIN and SFLR. And these are going to be the governance tokens. So let me just quickly read this paragraph for you. So SFLR and SFIN will serve as the primary and secondary governance tokens for the Flare Finance experimental finance ecosystem. The primary goal of SFIN and SFLR will be to act as the governing body over new assets ready to be added to the XFi ecosystem or the Songbird ecosystem. Very similar to how you would expect YFIN and YFLR to be used on the Flare network. Okay. Now let's just quickly run over this ecosystem section here. So on FlareX, you're going to be able to exchange, and I apologize for this this resolution here, but you're going to be able to exchange the Songbird token for Canary dollars. And on the Flare farm, which is represented on Songbird, you're going to be able to deposit your assets into various liquidity pools. And we've got a single-sided liquidity pool here, which is just the Songbird token itself. And you have the Songbird token to Canary dollars, and you have the Songbird token to the DFLR, which is represented on the Songbird network. And finally, you're going to have this section for the Songbird loans, which are going to be able to loan out your Songbird tokens or Canary dollars in exchange for a yield. Now, fees generated from the APY cloud will be converted into Songbird tokens and then into Spark tokens and transferred to the APY cloud on the main network. So if you are actually... Oh, Luke, thank you so much. I appreciate your videos. Keep up the great work. I certainly will, and you don't have to worry about that. I will be here for the long term. And I really do appreciate the donation, my friend. Thank you so much. So we have this section here, and governance of SFLR distribution and SFIN and farming and APY cloud will be available within the Flare Finance platform on Songbird. And as you can see here, Flare Wrap, Flare Mutual, and Flare Mine will be available within the Songbird platform, and this is when the mainnet goes live. So this period in time encompasses all of this here, and yeah, it's a great infographic, and this was provided by one of the moderators, as I said, Jacko721. So I just want to give a huge shout out to him for basically allowing me to share these infographics with you guys today. So there is another infographic that I would love to share with you, and that's this one. And this is reflaring. That's a little bit of a pun there. But the Fleur Finance main network asset. So this is, when you hear main network, they're referring to the Fleur network, okay? So let's just quickly unpack this. So on the Fleur network, we have the Spark token, which is obviously the native asset on the Fleur network. And we're also aware of all of these different F assets. We've got FXRP and F Litecoin, F Dogecoin, and FXLM, and these are minted via the agents. Sorry, this is the external network here, and they can be minted into F assets. Okay, and these F assets are actually encompassed by the Fleur Finance sphere here, as you can see in this Venn diagram. Now, Fleur Finance have two native assets. They have YFIN and YFLR, and these are used as governance assets. So you're going to be able to vote on the direction the network actually grows, or the Fleur Finance ecosystem grows, if you're holding these assets. And we have all of these different wrapped Y assets here, and if I'm honest, I don't think I can name them all. We've got Ethereum, Casino Coin, Zinfin, Telcoin, Gala, PAC, Shiba, Pass, Pancake, Shiba Inu, and BNB. I'm not sure about these two. Please don't hold that against me. And you can see that these two assets here, which are encompassed in the governance circle. I was actually asking Jacko about this. He just wanted to represent these assets, that governance proposals can come from either the Fleur network, which can be potentially an F asset. So let's say an F asset such as Algorand was to be pushed through, then that would become an F asset here, which would then be encompassed in the Fleur Finance ecosystem. But then in addition to that, we have the governance of the Fleur Finance using these coins here, where they could represent, say, Cardano as a wrapped Y asset, and that would also bring them into this sphere. And finally, we have the stable coins. We've got YUSD and XUSD, and we've got Tether here, and I'm not too sure about this one. Maybe USDT, or either way, we've got stable coins which can be brought over to the Fleur Finance platform. So to be confirmed on the Fleur Finance main network is the RA stablecoin, Songbird token, Canary Dollars, DFLR on Songbird, the SFLR on Songbird, and the SFIN on Songbird as well. So it's interesting to see that they may actually provide this sort of almost a bridge between the Songbird network and the Fleur network. And yeah, I definitely think that that's very interesting indeed. So guys, that wraps up today's video. I just wanted to run through these infographics for you guys. I'm actually working on one myself, which is going to go over basically all of the airdrops that you guys can expect. And yeah, definitely look out for that. So I really do appreciate you guys tuning in today. It's great to see so many people, so many legends in the space joining me on this this Sunday evening. And you know, I really do wish you guys a absolutely incredible week. I know it's the end of the week here, but you know, It's exciting times ahead, and I think we have a lot to look forward to. So thanks again everyone for joining the stream, and I just want to give a big shout out to Luke CINK for the donation, very much appreciated, and also Michael Brown. So with that being said, guys, have a great week, and until next time, I'm out.
Mission Control, we have liftoff.